Fontenot received an MA in German Language and Literature from the University of Texas at Austin. During the school year 1986 to 87, he was awarded a DAAD fellowship to study in Freiburg, Germany. Author of the novel For Mr. Raindrinker, set in 1970s New Orleans and published by Slough Press, he also published 3 books of poems, the second of which won the Austin Book Award, the third in A Kingdom of Birds, having won the 2013 Texas Institute of Letters Award for Best Poetry Book in Texas. His translations of contemporary poems from the German have appeared widely. A native New Orleanian, he lives and works in Austin, Texas. Welcome, Ken.
Thanks so much. It's great to be with 2 old friends, Todd and Judy. I'm very honored to read with them. They're both very special to me. I wanted briefly to mention a new book that came out in August. The book is by Kurt Heinzelman. This is it. It's called Whatever You May Say. Highly recommended. I enjoyed it thoroughly. So if you're in the bookstore and want to order a copy or get a copy, please do. Kurt is just a really fine poet. So I'm going to start off with 2 new poems, and then let's see what time we have. Okay, gotta watch the time. In praise of those drawn to mankind. Cats seem more educated than dogs. Dogs seem more pragmatic than cats. The one wise, the other all energy. I compare them because even in late middle age, I cannot still decide which to prefer. I'd like to feel welcome anywhere also. I need the great confidence they have in us. I need to be secure with just one suit of clothes, one kind of food, day in, day out. Dear furry things, teach me your humility, that I may lie down among you content. Teach me something about size, how the biggest is not always the most lovely, the surest. And should another of you make yet another child happy, no gift is too much after all. Be sure that you are the real peacemakers of the earth, the spirits, the bridges, the angels. To a painter, more than the hummingbird motionless before a flower, even more than a whale within the range of touch, do your brushstrokes astonish me. I see something turning into itself. I see something blue in tension with something else red. I too have the will, but not your patience. So I use the stuff of which can be found in any dictionary. Are we very different? Look, the squirrel is going through its declensions. The vowels of sparrows emerge, loud and clear. Paint those sounds, or rather that which delivers them. I will be standing by. I will be wanting to copy you in words. Judy's tribute to Frida is wonderful. I just, every time I read about her life or hear or look at her pictures, I'm ultimately astonished. This poem This poem is about seeing, and it's a kind of a tribute to another one of my favorite artists, Georgia O'Keeffe. This is no way to love things. This is no way to love things. Irish potato, I love the color of your skin, as if tanned underground. Yes, to be like you with so many eyes, because I just want to see better. Even eyes in the back of your head. Look, the farmer digging in the soil, his son playing behind him, the potato goddess, a picture of her in the boy's clear imagination. Now it's after supper, potato soup. Ah, this is no way to love things, to go to bed at 7 on a Saturday night, but thus it happens to a sleepyhead. No, I guess I'll watch the sky a while on this clear night. I'll view the objects in my room, my dreams, and think how Georgia O'Keeffe took a long time to see what she most believed in. Much of my life, I've had to put together odd jobs to survive, and one of them was being a security guard. Goes back to the late 70s and off and on. In fact, when I first came to Austin, before I got on with DAAD as a temporary and then got a full-time job, I worked as a security guard in Austin, and so this poem is called A Security Job. In the morning, I relieve him. He's had a long night, watching monitors, entertaining silence with his own lasting silence. As usual, the sun came up. I'm here. I discover nothing new about this building, whose presence now on Sunday ghosts inhabit. The past confronts me. Suddenly, I am a boy, 6, swimming at a place called the Kinder Pump in Kinder, Louisiana. A big rice pump which pushed hundreds of gallons per minute. We kids like to stand under it, feel the heavy water as if it were a waterfall in the mountains. But there are no mountains, only flat land and pine trees. Last year, a baby copperhead bit my cousin Horace, who lived through it, who lives even now as I write this. Dear reader, we were meant to swim. Just the presence of the past either confounds us or elates us. Let me have this pleasant moment all to myself. Do two more. One is more serious than the other, but I'll end on a light note, I think. This is called Things Both Practical and Sublime. When months pass like weeks, one can admit to being thoroughly involved. For school children, it may have been the summer. For hunters, it may have been the hunting season. But time ceases when we cease, and we live in immortality, in oblivion. More we can't say, except the world knows very well what it's doing, just as the snail plods in triumph. I wanted to have a distinct plan, but it changed as I changed. Even the pines were insightful, and the cows returned to the barn, in their own slow way. The best we can bargain for is authenticity and gratitude, even more than love. For the cow is grateful to the grass, each showing its true self. So remind me to serve up a meal of life, the main course of which is grace. And I'll end on a lighter note. It's called In a Bar Near Midnight. A beautiful girl says, "Hello." He wonders why. He smiles for the first time in months. What he needs to know is there's someone in her life. No, better not to know, not now anyway. Suddenly he feels up to a short lecture. Ever read Goethe, he asks. Who? Goethe, the German genius who lived from 1749 to 1832. Sorry. His life was a precious stone. In his dreams, all the women in town knocked on his door. Once Napoleon himself took the time to look him up. He wrote so awfully much, it would take years to read him. And he never even found anyone he could put a wedding ring on. But as an old man, he lived with a girl, 19, Christiana Vulpius, who bore him a son. In world literature, only Shakespeare and Dante can compare. Wouldn't you like to meet a writer as talented, as godly? You know the gods chose him. Wouldn't you like to remain in the company of someone like him? No, not really. I just need a light. Thanks.